from Desh Ratan Nigam as well. Mr. Nigam, on that specific question, there seems to be a lot of disagreement between the right and the left. On that specific question, did Mahatma Gandhi ask Veer Savarkar to send that mercy plea or have a communication with the British? What does the records really say? Is there a gap there as far as original set of records are concerned, facts are concerned?
Come across anything like that. The fact is, Mahatma Gandhi was sympathetic to Veer Savarkar and has also praised him on number of occasions. There is no doubt about it. Bhagat Singh also praised Veer Savarkar, and they had a common cause. And in fact, in many issues and magazines, Bhagat Singh also wrote. And in one of his specific issues, he had also mentioned Veer Savarkar and had praised him also. So the fact remains, whether Veer Savarkar is a freedom fighter and a national icon, yes, he is. These minor things as to who said what about him is immaterial. He got his recognition when the stamp was issued in his name by Mrs. Gandhi. And also there were various other people who had praised him. And the mercy petitions was a kind of a general practice at that point of time. And if you look at his third mercy petition where he said, he may not be released, let all others be released. It's a part of record. And if you also recall the fact that he was the first person who talked about Swadeshi. He was the first person who gave the idea of Spoon Swaraj much before others even thought about it. At that point of time, some people did say his ideas were ahead of time. He talked about various other issues when everybody deserted Hindus and started, Khilafat movement, and later also when you had at the time of independence, when everybody started taking the side of Muslims on the basis of two-nation theory, he was very, very clear that he talked about Hindus. Yes, he talked also about Hindu as a nation, where Muslims were also a part of it. So the fact remains that he was a national icon. He spent 23 years in prison, and at the same time, if you look at our history, the entire name has been whitewashed from our historical books. And therefore, this is the high time that we must give due recognition to the person who sacrificed so much. And I challenge any of the political leaders of that time, if they had stayed in inhuman conditions in Kala Pani, they could not have survived for even one day. Right. The way he was tortured and the inhuman conditions he was staying there. In fact, the Britishers themselves said, we will not release him. He's very, very dangerous. In fact, they released his brother. So they know. And twice he was, sentenced for life imprisonment. Can you imagine that? If he was pro-British, why should they sentence him twice for the life imprisonment? Right. So ultimately, the history books have to be corrected, and he has to be given due place in the minds and hearts of our people, and the young generation must know what he stood for, and the nation that we are today, a lot of contribution has come from Veer Savarkar.
Right.